This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.
This is pretty much one part of one of many where I was just like, we have all these lists. We might as well share them, and it could apply to anything. Let's say they're not even a movie TV person. They could apply this easily, these tropes to like a video game or a book. It's just
Yeah, I love it. If you don't mind, and it's totally up to you if this doesn't fit with the format,
no.
but I am supposed to be promoting this Fango book. So if I could just give it a quick shout out,
Sure. Yeah.
that would be awesome. But
Absolutely.
if it doesn't fit, no big deal.
No, it totally works. I'll just give you a proper intro. We got Fangoria's Meredith Borders on the show. She's no stranger to podcasts. She's got plenty to promote. Here for one of multiple lists. You've heard us tackle, annoying characters, redemption arcs, everything. We're just like, let's just make fun of the tropes, but also let's note the cliches that did it best. So welcome, Miss Borders.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here. This is a perfect list for me to weigh in on because I just spent a really long time working on a Frankenstein magazine for Fangoria. So mad scientists and evil doctors are very much on the brain. So I hope that listeners will be on the look for that. And also we currently have a Kickstarter for a Fangoria compendium that is going to cover the history of the magazine, which is really cool. So I think that people, if you just kind of Google Fangoria Compendium Kickstarter, you'll see, and there's a ton of amazing perks, and including access to the complete original run of the magazine's digital archive, which is kind of a big deal. So,
how would you say the magazine adapted to the digital age? Since it's been around for years in physical form only.
Yeah, well, there was it was messy at first, and this was before my time, but just following it as a reader because I've loved the magazine all my life before I started working for them. It got, it was a rough start for them. And then there's been a couple of different versions of a website. And then the magazine went away for a few years.
Yeah.
And then it came back in 2018 and I was part of the relaunch. And then we started another website. So it's been maybe 4 different Fangoria.coms, but I think what we have now is really great. So you should also check that out.
Yeah, not to promote scandals or anything. All I knew is just Cinestate bought it, then they sold it when they had their own shutdown, and so
we're on like our 5th owners.
Yeah.
I mean, not me, but the magazine has gone through so many. But we love our current owners, and we're very happy with who's running us now. So that's good.
But you get to actually blog about what you want to talk about. Was it any different from like when you were in high school or college and just coming up with a badass essay where you're just like, yeah, here's what I want to focus on?
It's so funny. You're the first person who's ever asked me that, but that's exactly what it's like. And that's what I love about it. I am a research nerd. I love doing research. Like, honestly, just put me in a room by myself with, books or resources, and then tell me like, you need to learn everything there is to know about this one subject. And you have 2 weeks to do it, and then turn in a really thorough and, very like well-researched essay. And that is my dream job. So
Yep.
I always loved research papers in school. And now that's what I do. I really, really like it. It feels very cool.
Well, again, to get these rare chances to interview these people who do, the rounds at all the panels, all the conventions, and then even just out of the blue stuff is like, yeah, so and so's got a Blu-ray for this beloved movie, and I'm never going to get a chance to interview him ever again. So this is the one shot, you know?
Yeah, totally. It's yeah, we're lucky. I mean, it's a very, I mean, obviously the industry is up and down and can be
Yes.
stressful, and it's certainly not reliable, but the creative side of what we do is, I think, really, really cool, and I'm always grateful for it.
It's wild how magazines have come in different forms, but conventions even used to be frowned upon. And I was like, really? Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really funny the cycles that like what's cool and what's not go through, and then how that reflects in success or doesn't. I mean, you know, magazines are print publishing is slowly, hopefully, coming back a little bit into trend. But I mean, there was a while that it was like, will they survive? I mean, nobody knows.
Yeah.
So
We're doing
we
it
all
with
just kind of hang on
movies.
and do our best.
Movies are doing it too, physical or digital. And it's like,
Exactly.
maybe if you give any kind of option, it's great. You guys don't have to worry about what it's available in. What you need to worry about is marketing.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
I
And like for the audience, it's like just watch it, read it, share it, talk about it. If it's something that you love and you don't want it to go away, just shout it from the rooftops constantly, because that's the best thing you can do.
I've lost track of podcast guests who would kind of unofficially invite themselves on. They were like, I thought I was the only guy who watched that or knew about that. I'm like, well, join the club. Let's hear your
That's what
side
I
of it.
love about doing any of this, is finding your people, the people who are interested in the same really niche stuff that, pre-internet, we just all kind of thought we were all by ourselves. We all thought we were like
Yeah.
loners and weirdos, and then we,
Internet forums and YouTube and just like, no,
exactly.
there's more than that. And if you don't like it, it's okay. You can share that thought too. But I don't know. I think it is just so funny how only the negative attention gets any like reaction, and I've had to just leave so many just clickbait sites. I'm like, guys, I wish you would not stoop to that level, but here you are. And
I know. And like maybe they had to do it because their numbers were plummeting. It was the only thing that got them. But for me, I
Instagram
mean,
gets that way with the algorithm. It's
yep,
like a video that
exactly.
is just meant to get you to react. I'm like, nope, nope, nope. I'm stepping
Not
away.
for me. Yeah, my personal ethos is more celebratory for sure. Like if I'm mad about something, I'm not going to go online and talk about it. I'm just going to be mad silently. And if
Totally.
I'm happy about something, I don't shut up about it.
Absolutely. There's all kinds of social sites that are getting better. Facebook's still kind of wandering. There are some times where there'll be like a genre movie page, but someone is putting up like the wrong photo for that celebrity.
But yeah, that happens.
I was just like, it's not the actor or actress that
Yeah, that's not her.
not even close. So um it was fun kind of pre-planning this with you because like I've just thrown it out and it's like what would be on your wavelength? What would be of interest to you? And we came across mad scientists, unethical creators, evil doctors, any genre kind of.
It's perfect. I love it.
And
I mean, Frankenstein is one of my favorite books and always has been. And then, almost every adaptation of it, I mean, basically every adaptation of it has something of value to offer, something interesting to say. I'm I'm really recently in love with Laura Moss's Birth Rebirth. Have you seen that?
birth rebirth.
So it's yeah, it's like birth slash rebirth, and it's all undercase. But it's I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, Laura Moss did a modern version of Frankenstein, and it's Marin Ireland plays Dr. Rose Casper, and then Judy Reyes is a nurse
Love her.
at her hospital, and uh, no spoilers, like first few minutes, Judy Reyes loses her daughter, and Marin Ireland is working with cadavers in the hospital. But Judy Reyes' character discovers that her daughter's been revived, and so this nurse and this doctor work together. Obviously, the nurse because it's her daughter and she wants to be with her, and the doctor for very like ambitious and nefarious reasons. So it's got all the themes of Frankenstein. But what's so funny for Frankenstein having been written by a woman, there's not a ton of female versions of the story, like stories adaptations of the stories told by women. And this is a really, really good one. I cannot recommend it more highly.
It's got pretty much a who's who of Broadway. I am definitely a huge fan of Monica Kernan. She's been in everything, but yeah, no, that's very awesome. I and see, I didn't see that promoted anywhere, not even on All Bloody
I
Disgusting,
know.
so
Yeah, we had a really good interview about it in the magazine, and that's how I found out about it. I was editing this interview, and then I was like, I have to see this, and I have thought about it so many times since watching it. It's really, really good.
I mean, people keep saying, oh, why isn't there any indie cinema? It's out there, but unfortunately, you got to pretty much do the work. You gotta...
You have to find it. Like, it's not going to find you, unfortunately, but that's the fun part.
I mean, and the whole basis of a mad scientist, it definitely is a character that can easily backfire. But thank you for this deep mention, Nessie. And this is going to be the fun thing. Just looking up stuff is like, whoa, hey, I didn't know existed, but now it's on the radar. And
Yeah, I'm ready to make a list of some of your recommendations as well.
so I had some kind of apparent ones. Obviously, we can't not mention Herbert West from Reanimator, but like there's all
All-time
kinds.
fave.
And that's just it. Like he's kind of a bad guy, but he also has good intentions, and then
Mhm.
and then they just keep playing around with that. It's like now he's gone too far. Now it's in the fan. So now we're going to insert dark comedy and gross out monster effects, and the fact that Stuart Gordon approached this like he did, he kind of made the genre be taken more seriously due to his theater background. It's just like it never gets old discussing. It's just even people who are uncomfortable about it can talk about it for hours, because it's kind of the point.
It's beautiful. It's operatic. It's one of my favorite movies. And I love that then Stuart Gordon and Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton and Dennis Paoli all went on to do From Beyond, which is another mad scientist movie
Yep.
where Jeffrey Combs plays Dr. Tillinghast, who's I think even madder than Herbert West, to be honest. And so it's really fun seeing that kind of evolution with this exact same team. But they're such different movies considering all of the things that they have in common.
I take it you've heard of the recent Blue Moon take on it, The Resonator, which was a miniseries where they kind of imply that both characters are in the same universe.
No, I had not heard that.
And see, I just thought it was a From Beyond loose sequel, and it was like, yeah, but Herbert West makes a cameo, and he's played by a different actor because Jeffrey Combs is already playing his From Beyond character. I'm like, interesting. So,
Yeah, that's fascinating.
I don't know why it wasn't promoted more. You would think, they'd eat that Stuart Gordon, Charles Band money up, but whatever.
For real.
Yeah, and again, a mad scientist, it's so hard, to kind of, because there's plenty of bad movies where the scientists didn't have enough motive for why they're doing all this awful stuff, and it's like I need a little something more, And
I also like a sort of wholesome version of it. Like one of my favorite characters and shows ever is Dr. Farnsworth on Futurama. And like, there's no doubt he's a mad scientist. He absolutely is. But he's also like, he's not harming anybody. I mean, basically every crew member for the Planet Express dies before the current ones. But yeah, I think that's like a really cute and funny version of it that never gets old for me. I love it. I love Dr. Farnsworth. And like in the pilot when they show up and he's like, oh, well, I am already in my pajamas. It's like, I say that line all the time because I am so often already in my pajamas.
Well, and that's just it. Like, yeah, typically when you think of pajamas, you think of someone living like a rock star. It's like, he's just, that's all he does.
100%.
Yeah, there you go. Going on the Matt Groening train. So I got lo and behold the titular character from another Brian used Stuart Gordon collaboration as the dentist.
Oh, I had not thought of the dentist. That is such a good choice. Really
Alan
good.
Feinstein, and again, typical Beverly Hills dentist. It could have easily been a Tales from the Crypt episode, and he's basically just this close to just he becomes an unofficial con artist in the sequel, but like here he is just so insecure about everything, and the most unusual thing set him off. And again, I don't know why IMDb won't list it as what it is, which is a dark comedy, which because there's just so much of it in there. And again, I hate going to the dentist, and I like this movie. Like, I just knew from the cover and just the unusual casting. Ken Forey's the cop. Okay, interesting. Earl Bowen's going to be in here. Oh, and Corbin Burnson. Oh, okay. Talk about a actor who I never know where he's going to go. He's just
Totally.
and Julie McWhirter, and Linda Hoffman, I feel, are kind of underrated, and it's also one of Mark Ruffalo's first movies. So there you go.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
He's
God,
one
it's
of the
been so long
guys
since
who
I've seen that.
he's one of the guys who gets it.
Oh,
Uh,
that's like so many people's first role. They're like, that's what it is. They're one of the
yeah,
people who gets it.
struggling actor who doesn't realize they were actually good in another beloved cult movie before they were known, and it's just so funny how everyone kind of likes to pretend like your career started when we first discovered you, and it's like, let's go back into the tunnel.
Yeah, I've been paying my dues for decades in some cases.
Well, and
This is a recency bias one a little bit for me, but I just recently rewatched Hellraiser 2, and I think Dr. Chenard I think he could
I
totally
think
be
he
listed
counts. Yeah.
here. And I mean, it's such a like quick, but very strong trajectory because he doesn't start out, I think, necessarily mad. I believe like what he witnesses once the Cenobites cross over, and then also just Julia. Like I think Julia immediately like poisons his brain and just corrupts him from the inside out, and he just like instantly goes from being a like whatever kind of sketchy doctor into this like dimensional like hell beast. So I think it's a pretty strong trajectory.
I'm glad you mentioned him because that's just I was going through this. I'm like, I've been mentioning a bunch of franchises here. I know there's got to be at least one of those, and I was thinking about it. I was like, no, there's none of them in Wishmaster. I can't, there's definitely not one in Candyman. There should be, but there isn't. Yeah, well, so there you go. Yeah, I that's a good pick because I love the design of that character. It
Me
almost
too.
it it's not squid like, but it almost just has that just kind of claw literal look on his disfigured face,
God, it's so cool. I mean,
and
Hellraiser is like such a pure movie for me, but Hellraiser 2 does a lot of like unbelievably cool, interesting visual stuff where there are just so many
it's
scenes in
more
that movie.
gothic-y, but most
It is.
people
It totally is. It's very romantic and dramatic and all the different rooms of hell that they're going through. And I think it sort of muddles the messaging of the first one a little bit. Like there's like, no, it's literally hell. And it's like, that's not what they say in the first one. It's not hell, actually. They're not demons, but whatever. It's worth it. It's so cool and fun that I just really enjoy kind of hanging out in that movie.
I agree. It's unfortunately kind of like how people like to remember when something goes bad. I notice a lot of people will only mention the gross out stuff. It's like that is not what it's only all about, guys. Like it is very gothic-y in nature. It's very again, like and again, I like Pinhead, but he wasn't the only reason to watch. There's all these other guys who are trapped in purgatory and threaten everybody's existence. And like you say, it is kind of a Edgar Allan Poe-ish meets just some other kind of just story morale where you're just like, yeah, they didn't just get here overnight. No, no. Most people think if they don't think they're doing God's work, then they at least, again, think I'm doing some kind of good difference in the world. And it's like, that's not necessarily true. There's so many people who just went on the wrong path. Like my current job path, it's a good job path, but I never expected to get there. But all it took was a few phone calls, and here I have been the last 5 years. So in a good way, but that could easily happen in the bad way. And
Yeah, there's the flip side of that. And then all of a sudden you're a mad doctor.
I'm working for Blackwater. Oh no, I'm working for a corporation that poisons people. And it's like in this case, yeah, he formed the Chenard Institute and I'm gonna lock your mind. Yeah, the acting. Oh, what was his name? Kenneth Cunham. Yeah,
Kenneth Cranham. Yeah, he's
yeah.
good. I think he's really, really good. I think it's not easy to hold your own against
Doug Bradley. Yeah, but
Doug Bradley and I can't believe it. I'm losing Julia's name, and I love her.
Oh, she was good. But I mean, even with Jamie Clayton being the newest iteration, is like, yeah, I mean, whoever is in the main iconic villain role is like, yeah, you have to be another unusual villain. And yeah, I'm actually, it is funny though how you look at all of these actors in that franchise and you don't realize they've actually been in a lot of stuff. And but
Claire
again,
Higgins, sorry,
they
her name just hit me.
yeah, no, she's good. And next thing you know, I see her in a big blockbuster movie, and I was like, yeah, Julia.
Yeah, totally. And she was in His Dark Materials recently, and I mean, I just love that she's still acting. She's still because she's so great. She's got such an amazing
They've been
presence. Very
typecast
gothic, very operatic.
a little bit of typecasting, but not to the point where it's like my career was denied. Like it's not like Doug Bradley, who pretty much only does theater or whatever Barker signed up for, and then kind of, just does conventions now. And you're like, really? Yeah, I mean, and yeah, that's a good pick. Thank you so much for that pick, because
Thank you.
I was just like, there's got to be some other franchise that it can't just be all these other like comedies and sci-fi stuff. It's like there's got to be some other horror movies that have evil doctors, and again, he is trying to unlock the mind and see its capabilities, and of course,
Mhm.
he becomes a Cenobite, and just his color is really complemented by how the gaffing in that movie, and yeah. And it is so wild how Julia is being, basically resurrected in that form, and he's basically part of. He is again assisting with that regenerative state, but so I got to go to my favorite. You started us on the comedy bandwagon. I love all the mad scientists on Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah. Oh, obviously. Definitely.
So when people go, fans are pretty nice, but unfortunately, there is always someone who likes to do the whole "Do you like Joel or Mike as the host?" And I say Dr. Forrester every time
Yeah, totally. Great
because
choice. Great
he is the
choice.
one who starts it. But yeah, I like Pearl. I like uh, her daughter Kinga, but even Bobo and Brain Guy are funny. But yeah, Dr. Forrester and TV's Frank, like they're just amazing because Frank is a glutton for punishment, and Forrester is just very funny, knows he's an asshole, but also just keeps doing it. And then that his bursting into song is just comedy gold. Like he is just, he knows he is unleashing the worst movies of all time for people to suffer through in space. And so it's just like, yeah, it's.
Yeah, you can't go anywhere. You're in space.
And you were, when we were prepping, you did mention, Dr. Frankenstein. And I think it is also a testament to, for all the different actors who play him in the Universal monster movies, like Victor Frankenstein is pretty much never undone. Like they have been kind of just so fortunate, even with all the other reiterations. Like it's, you can always kind of tell, like that is like rule number one with the filmmakers, like get a kick-ass actor who understands this to play Victor. Like don't just get whoever. Like let's get
Calling
Victor.
five, yeah.
Let's
Well, what I think is really interesting about the Universal Frankensteins versus the Hammer Frankensteins is that in the Universal Frankensteins, they're pretty consistent with who plays the monster for, the
yes.
first several. It's Boris Karloff, but almost always different, not only Frankensteins, but like characters. It's not Victor. It's different. It's like his son and then his whatever. And then in the Hammers, it's always Peter Cushing, but the monster changes
Yes.
completely. So they have like different priorities. And I think it's really smart. It's a great way to like distinguish them. It was a great way for Hammer to distinguish themselves from the Universal movies. And the monsters are a little bit an afterthought in the Hammer movies, but Peter Cushing is, I think, the best Dr. Frankenstein of all time. And so
Yeah.
that's where they put their kind of weight. It was in that part of the story versus the monster part. And it really, really works. And like he changes so much from movie to movie. I mean, he starts out pretty kind of, immoral,
Yes.
amoral. And then he still, he finds some like redemption and regret. And then he goes like so bad.
It
So
was
from movie
so
to movie, his own like motivation and like integrity wildly varies.
and that's just it. Is like everyone gets concerns the face, and then yeah, you have to re-examine it, kind of like which movie is Dracula well developed in versus he's going on a killing spree. And it's so funny how you bring up the Hammer verse, because I was always confused growing up because sometimes those were distributed by Universal, so I thought, oh, that's a Universal monster. No, that's just they just happen to be the one distributing it if it wasn't Warner Brothers.
I know. And about halfway through, they finally got the rights to do the sort of Boris Karloff makeup, the Jack Pierce makeup. And so it's just so funny the way the monsters looked before that. It's like, what? Like, they just look like weird, like dog face boys. You know what I mean? And then about halfway through, all of a sudden, you start to see the sort of Jack Pierce, Boris Karloff makeup happening, but it's still like on a way less budget.
It's a
So
way
it does
less
not look as
budget.
good.
It's not as good, but yeah,
It's not actually Jack Pierce doing it, so it's not as good.
truth be told, it would have been interesting, just like if something like it would have been awful if something like that would happen, but it also would have probably been realistic. Someone would have probably blended with another mammal.
Yeah, totally. You're right.
And
I could
so
see
next thing you
Frankenstein doing
know,
that.
all the paranormal maniacs are going to be like, "Oh my god, I saw something! It's not Sasquatch." I'm like, then what could it be?
You are onto something. A combination of Dr. Frankenstein and Dr. Moreau is
Yes.
pretty brilliant. I mean, I can't believe that hasn't happened yet, actually.
Yeah, give it 20 more years. We're just around the corner. Mad
You heard it
scientists.
here first, folks.
Yeah. Meredith may or may not give you permission to steal, but please credit her regardless. So I got Dr. Miles Dyson. If that sounds familiar, that's the creator of Skynet.
Oh, no, that is good. Off the beaten track, but completely a mad doctor. Absolutely.
Oh, and that's just it. He tries to redeem himself by sacrificing himself, but it's also still too late, as you know,
Oh,
sequels
yeah.
will prove. Yeah, it's like, and but man, so fun fact: I was listening to 50 Miles Per Hour, which is a wonderful podcast just about the changing of the movie industry in the 90s from the movie Speed. The irony: Joe Morton is the SWAT captain in that movie. He is working with the same SWAT guys who shot him in T2.
Oh, that
So
is ironic.
life.
And Joe Morton. So my favorite show of all time is Smallville.
Hey.
And Joe Morton shows up in three episodes in season 2 as a mad scientist named Dr. Hamilton.
Yes.
And I was so excited when that happened. I was like, this was brilliant casting. This was so good.
He will
yeah,
always be
this
Mr. Skynet, John Siles guy for me, but like he is like an underdog in the 90s where you're just like, man, what a dynamite dude.
workhorse, real workhorse. I mean, he just, yeah, he paid his dues. Okay, so that's a good one that opens up. I wasn't sure if this would apply, but I think it does if Dr. Dyson
Sure.
does. I was thinking Dr. Lecter. I mean, he's a cannibal. That's pretty mad, right? And
he was
while
technically
he's
a
not-
doctor before he got his license revoked.
Exactly. And so in Silence of the Lambs, not so much because he's not actually practicing. But
Right.
in the show Hannibal, he's absolutely a practicing mad doctor.
You get inside.
And he's
it's fine.
using his practice to, lure victims, to throw off the FBI, to basically drive Will Graham insane. So I think specifically Mads Mikkelsen in Brian Fuller's Hannibal, that version absolutely applies here. I don't know if all of them do, but I know that his does.
I mean, you're seeing more of his game of wits and how he's inevitably going to escape,
Yeah.
and how he inspires copycats like the guy on the blacklist. So you're just like, Hannibal was kind of what started the rebirth of the Joker and all the other psycho who knows too much and knows he's bad, but won't apologize for it either way.
I kind of don't want him to because he's so cool.
The shameless villain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I got Cigarette Smoking Man.
Good. Oh, these are good. These are good. Okay,
That
I
man
like
can monologue all day and it's like, I need someone to pick up a gun and shoot you right now. This dude is going to be the death of everybody.
And I'm sorry to do this, but he also shows up in Smallville, but not as a mad scientist. He's a government official.
Those talented Canadians, man. William B. Davis. So, did you know? It is so funny. He's not credited in the first few episodes because he was basically just a featured extra. And then it's so funny. They realized, hey, you have a theater background. You want to actually be on the show? He's like, yeah. And he has always just kind of looked 50 when he was really, he's just been acting forever, and he's just
Yeah,
and
hasn't
perfect.
changed.
This works into the whole and I'm okay with this kind of villain continually getting away again and again because he does latch on to everybody's insecurities. He does do that whole thing, and it's like, well, shit. If I kill you right now, I might not have the, you know, cure for all insanity, for all cancer, and for all just everything wrong in the world. And it's like, yeah, and like everything, it's too good to be true. And he will always do the whole, yeah, but I made you feel happy for that. I'm like, you bastard. He is just always one step ahead. And when he's not, I he always will just confess, I shouldn't have hired that dumb hitman. I should have done it myself. I'm like, yeah, you should have. Mr. Coward. And I like how they call him on that. Coward, coward, you coward. You could do word count on what words are reused on that show, but
Totally, you absolutely could.
I feel like
Drinking.
he's kind of the basis for, if you think about it, I definitely got a bunch of inspiration from the tall man from Phantasm for him, kind of.
I could see that. They have a similar presence.
I don't know if I want to call tall man a scientist, but he's definitely a mad genius.
He's mad. He's mad, all right.
He's just an asshole. I like him, but he's an asshole. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say I have a little bit of a threefer, which is 3 mad scientists in 2 different Cronenberg movies. So one, of course, is Seth Brundle and The Fly, obviously iconic.
I had him on my list. He was.
I mean, he's got to be. He's got to be. But also, Jeremy Irons playing both of the Doctor's mantle in Dead Ringers. I think they're pretty mad. They are doing some very evil shit in that movie. So.
I haven't seen the Rachel Weisz version yet, but it's so funny. Like, Cronenberg is fun because, like, almost everybody has seen at least 1 or 2 of his movies just in the early days of cable. And it's so funny. It's like my father and uncle would joke growing up, is like, Jeremy Irons, the twins guy. And I'm like, yes, yes, he is.
I know he went on to do so much, but for a long time, that is how everybody knew him. I mean, he's so good in it. He's really, really good. And that has one of my favorite scores of all time. So I have it on vinyl and I'm just listening to it all the time. So the movie is always on my mind because I'm listening to it constantly.
Kudos to any actor who plays a twin, because you not only, you can't just rely on makeup. You have to play the role different and still show some similarities, like similar body movement, nervous hand gestures, something, to just let us know, yeah, they're related, because I'm sure you've seen that in a movie or show before where you're like, kind of see them a relation, but it's a stretch, they don't have the same skin color or eyes, it's like, it's hard, especially if you,
or they'll write it into the script and they always have one of them saying to the other one, little brother. And it's like, nobody actually calls their little brother. Like,
yeah,
you're just trying to remind us that they're siblings because they don't look like they are.
Unfortunately, it will happen where you're just like, I think you're a good actor and you writers are otherwise good, but you need to get out a little more. You could have called up your brother or sister. Like, how would you approach this? It's like, just ask a reference.
Yeah, just be normal, be natural.
I don't know. Maybe ask someone who is of this right race or gender to actually write this instead of guess.
Yeah, imagine that.
It's more accurate. Those are awesome.
We'll return after these messages.
If you like small town mystery, crazy news, and wild history, then the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast is for you. Each week, Josh Mills and Wayne McCarty bring you the absolute best Florida has to offer. So if you're looking for a show that's safe for the family, but funny enough to help you escape everyday life, then listen to the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast. That's Florida Men, plural, on Florida Man podcast.
Do you ever find yourself thinking about who would win in a fight between Goku and Superman? Hi, I'm James Gavsey, and on the Who Would Win show, me and my co-host Ray ignore anything important happening in the outside world and debate fictional battles between characters from comics, movies, and video games.
We got a new show every week, and almost always am I the winner.
Yeah, not true, Ray.
In the past, we've discussed such matches as Captain America versus Darth Vader, Solid Snake versus the Iron Giant, classic matchups like RoboCop versus Terminator, and even the Muppets versus Sesame Street.
That one was crazy. So if you're a fan of geek culture and love a spirited debate, check out the Who Would Win Show wherever you get your podcasts, or check us out at whowouldwinshow.com.
Okay, so I'm geek AF. I am a Trekkie.
I believe it. I'm ready.
I got some.
Let it wash over me.
Okay, so beaming up, I got Dr. Soong, who's basically the creator of Data. I got
Okay.
I got Peter Weller's two-part villain, John Paxton, on Enterprise, and I had F. Murray Abraham's Raffo from Insurrection. But those villains are all awesome because Star Trek gets into the lore and it is totally doing a Frankenstein homage.
Awesome. I mean, it makes sense that there would be several on that show. So I'm glad that you can cover them because that's definitely not in my wheelhouse.
No, it's fine. I mean, in all fairness, First Contact's the best one because it's a total Hellraiser alien tribute.
Cool.
The Borg are totally just the Cenobites, but cyborg parts. But I didn't put them down because they're a mindless collective who just wanted to slay everybody. They're not necessarily mad scientists, but these other guys are because they're all creating cyborgs and do mutations. And again, they have zero accountability. They are always trying to get away and find scavengers to do their dirty work. And the actors do the best kind of chewing scenery where only they can do this kind of elevate this material beyond B level on a big TV budget. And again, and it's not the only Peter Weller character that's on this list. So, two.
Tell me, go ahead. I can't stand the suspense.
Okay, well, so there was this apocalyptic World War III show called The Last Ship, based on an '80s novel, and he plays on that Dr. Paul Velik. And I knew Peter Weller was going to be on it because he just was directing so many of the episodes. But this character is wild because you go the whole time thinking he's talking to his sons. Then you realize, oh, he's talking in past tense. His son has been dead because of his experiments. And he's just a glutton for punishment, just in denial, so to speak. And he gets away. Zero accountability. Shithead.
That's so true for so many of these guys. They just don't get caught. I mean, some of them do in a big way, but some of them absolutely do not.
It's just also just fun because, like, again, it goes back to the first rule of acting. You have to justify yourself, even if you're wrong. And most actors would sometimes, especially if they're too heavy-handed on their method, they would get in trouble for justifying the characters. Like, no. You just got to talk like the character, be in character. You don't have to actually think like your character. That's where it's time for rehab. And yeah, a lot of actors like it because it's a challenge and they know if it's part of a franchise, it's going to be big bucks. Imagine if they had done Mad Scientist in a Elm Street or Jason movie. Missed opportunity.
Yeah, it is a missed opportunity.
We got it at Halloween, but that's about it.
I was about to say Halloween, there is one. But yeah, it's really surprising that, I mean, I guess there's like shitty doctors in Nightmare on Elm Street 3, but none of them are crazy. They're just bad at their jobs and, don't care about those kids.
True. There's some bad scientists in some of those Transfers movies, but I couldn't name one of them. But they're awesome, but they kind of all run together. In fact, I might have had on another list, I might have had Richard Lynch's character from part 2, but I don't even know if he's a mad scientist. He's kind of just crazy.
I had not thought about this movie until I started putting together my list, and I am really excited about it. I watched it when I was a kid, and I was obsessed with it. The Man with Two Brains, Steve Barton from the 80s.
There you go. Yep, Carl Reiner comedy. Yep.
Yes, the character's name is Dr. Hooferer. And it was just the silliest, most ridiculous movie that I loved so much as a kid and had not seen in so long. And so now I'm like, okay, I have to rewatch this. I put it on the list. It stayed with me so much as a kid. It had to have been my gateway Mad Scientist because I had not seen any of the rest of this at this point. So he might have been my actual first Mad Scientist. But I love all Steve Barton.
I think I had the Young Frankenstein version down, but yeah, Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks, that same cloth.
Oh, God.
They are
And I
genre
love Young
fans.
Frankenstein, but I watched that a little bit later. I don't think I saw Young Frankenstein until like junior high or high school. And of
I don't
course,
even remember
mean,
why it's rated R. I guess there was just like one violent death at the end. I couldn't remember why it was R. I think there's some
in
language.
Man with Two Brains.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember.
There are breasts. I remember because as a kid
Okay.
I was shocked. there's like some light nudity.
There you go. Well, and it is just so funny though, like how they are making this stuff very mainstream, but they're doing a comedic take on it. Because again, you just gotta laugh at the absurdity sometimes, but you can still, like you say, you have a bad guy you kind of want to just it could work in a serious movie if you wanted to.
Yeah. Although I can't quite picture Steve Martin in a serious movie, but it could maybe happen.
No, that's fair. Like I've seen him in Grand Canyon playing a Joel Silver inspired half-ass movie producer, but yeah, you could have probably given it to kind of a stronger serious actor. That'd be fine.
I haven't seen that movie actually.
Oh, well,
I'll add it
not
to
a
the
thing to add
list.
to watch list. No, that's fine. So I got Ben Kingsley in Species, Dr. Xavier Fitch.
Yes, very strong choice.
I think he has some good moments. I do kind of agree with critics that he's kind of phoning this one in, but the character has some good dialogue regardless when he recruits all these Jurassic Park type scientists, on this expedition. And I'm sorry that whether it's a guilty pleasure or not, I just thought this was always just a fun, gory outing that was just an excuse to be a mixture of Frankenstein meets Alien meets Basic Instinct. It's just what it is.
Totally, it is fun. I enjoy it.
but I understand if everyone's like too lowbrow, B movie on a big budget. I get it, but I just figured
B movie on a big budget is actually cool. Like that's great. I want there to be more of that.
I agree. And especially compared to nowadays where I see people where I'm like, where did the money go? There was barely anything here.
I know. Exactly. What did you do with it?
Snort cocaine.
So I live in Germany, so I feel like I absolutely must call out, obviously, Dr. Caligari. But also,
Yes.
I was thinking about this, and between Cabinet of Dr. Caligari and Metropolis,
I
feel like sort of German expressionism, like in the 20s, kind of invented the mad scientist for cinema. Obviously,
I mean, they definitely
Frankenstein the book was a couple of years earlier, but I mean, this is like what kicked off genre film, were movies
definitely the
about mad
visual look.
scientists. Yeah, and the look, absolutely.
But I had Rotwang on there, but could call it the Caligari. But yeah, I mean, saying it's the first is kind of an understatement. Like that is pretty much the style to go to because it hit it right out of the park. It did it so well. It's like, yeah, how do we top that?
And people are still emulating it. I mean, you'll still see that style and that tone in film, and it still works today, which is crazy.
We get distracted by cinema verite or even just other European or French New Wave, but yeah, there's a lot of German expressionism in some of these films where you're like, yeah, if they didn't take a cue from like some demented Japanese thriller, if there wasn't some other like maybe word of mouth like Brazilian mystery and horror mashup, I guarantee you there's probably some German expressionism in a movie. No, good call.
Thank you. I think I'm looking at my list. I think I've said them all.
Oh, I got some other ones for you.
Oh wait, Poor Things. That was the only one I hadn't said yet. Another Frankenstein riff, but a very good one.
But good call, and I especially love Metropolis just because he's creating what he thinks is the perfect robot, but really it's a dystopia city, and he's just he's a sheep in this whole thing. And I do have another thing going back to your boy Mads Mikkelsen.
I love him.
He plays Jürgen in the last Indiana Jones movie.
Of course.
I want to go back in time and assassinate Hitler so I can become the Führer.
That's pretty mad. That is a very mad motivation.
Yep.
Mad and bad.
Mad and bad. And again, the time travel doesn't happen until the final act. Like it goes for the basics. It's always been a light on fantasy, more heavy on adventure and terror kind of franchise. So yeah, he did pretty good in it. Just the minute he just keeps those classics glasses, very astute, and he's just basically looking into the viewer and the other character's soul. He kills you with your eyes. But I had Dean Armitage from Get Out.
Yeah, I actually thought about that, and then I wasn't sure.
He's
But
kind of
I
more of
love
an
that we've been.
unethical doctor, but I mean, he opened up a guy's head in 5 seconds at the end. So I mean,
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm really glad that we have been going off the sort of more
because everyone just
standard like beaten track, and you're absolutely right. Like he belongs on this
Victor
list.
or Rihanna or Herbert West, and then just like stops there. I'm like, no. Keep
There's
going.
so many. Yeah, you just have to be a little bit more flexible with your definition. But yeah, if you're swapping brains, especially without consent, as is happening in Get Out, then you are a mad scientist, like bar none.
The fact that he's like, yes, I want you to marry my daughter, so you can be my
Oh,
victim.
so messed up.
But yeah,
And that
Bradley
movie's
Whitford's.
so suspenseful. Like no matter how many times you see it, that scene, I still my heart starts thumping.
I love the interview where Jordan Peele gave how he would actually kind of sneak into film studies classes and he'd call out the teachers, "You're doing a good job introducing my movie."
Oh, he's so great. God, he's amazing.
Yep. I got another one for you. He is Frankenstein in nickname only. Matthew Logan from Day of the Dead.
Wow, you were killing it. That is so good. That's really good.
Fortunately, he does pop up on lists, but like I love how again, like that is the nickname they give him, and again, these guys have poorly organized this whole thing. They're like, yeah, let's experiment on the undead and see if they can grow a brain. And again, they're just getting all caught up in this cluster. And I mean, you give a zombie a gun, that nothing good is going to happen. I'm sorry,
No, they don't even need guns. Don't give them guns.
Yeah, I put Rhodes on my war criminals for sci-fi, but like, man, like, what a cool, strong scientist hero going against all these other unethical scientists, and uh, just kick-ass one-liners, and that there's some unusual sacrifices that happen in the last act, where it's like, okay, if you're escaping, if I can't escape, then I'll make sure you don't escape. Bringing the zombies with you. I had Dr. Agatha Webb from Body Parts, the Eric Red movie from the 90s.
Never seen it. Putting it on the list. Very excited.
91, played by Lindsay Duncan, who you might know from HBO's Rome and a few other things. She's one of those, like, the minute I hear that voice, I'm like, I know who that is. British royalty right there. And this movie does good by just kind of, again, the man gets, he is in a terrible car accident and his body's reattached by a serial killer his body's been used for examination, but the soul's still in those body parts. But it really makes good on it for a reasonably big budget movie. And yeah, it's just one of those, you'll look at the description on the TV guide and it just sounds generic. It's like, no, it's way better than it has any right to be. And
awesome. Okay. All right. Very excited.
for sure. I got a few other ones. I can let you go next if you got one, or if you. That's it for now.
I've only got Poor Things and Rocky Horror left, which are both, I think.
That counts. That's a parody.
They both count. They're all a little bit Frankenstein riffs. Like if we just go down it's like Frankenhooker. I mean, there's so many, but I think those are two of the best. Absolutely.
I mean, they're still quoting it. I mean, come on.
Yeah, 100%. So I think of the Frankenstein riffs, Rocky Horror is one of the best of all time, and Poor Things is one of the best, most recent ones.
There you go.
I love them both. So.
Yoga Scowl. Gotcha. Nice. I got chemist Gil Batiker. I think that's how I spell it. He is the crazy German scientist who starts all these drug labs on Breaking Bad.
Oh, totally. Yep,
he used to be an actor or some other convoluted thing, and they just they gave everybody a very strange, sometimes demented backstory on that show, and you're just like, yeah, but how did you get here to be a deadly chemist? Wow. Okay. I got Dr. Albert Hirsch from The Bourne Ultimatum, played by Albert Finney. And you look forward to him. He does not get killed, but you're just like, man, he has, again, he created all these super soldiers, and you don't expect them to go that way. You just thought, hey, it's just a spy movie, and it's like, nope, this mad scientist actually brainwashed all these guys when they were like very young.
Yeah, that was a good like addition to the lore. It really kind of opened up that world. I love the simplicity of the first one, but I do love the way they built on it.
No, I know what you mean, because like it could have, and Matt Damon was very adamant about it growing up. He's just like, I'm doing this for my mother. I don't want to be in a James Bond thing. I get that there's spy elements, but I do not want to be just, the unstoppable guy who gets the girl and blows up a car. It's like, there's got to be some meat on this bone,
Yeah, I think there is. There definitely is.
I also got Balter, Simon, and brother John Cavill from Battlestar Galactica, the new one. And
Okay. Yep.
they create the Cylons, but it's also fun because basically they're experimenting on other cyborgs, and boy howdy does it get out of control. I got Dr. Strangelove.
Oh, of course. Yes.
Very satirical. It makes me very uncomfortable nowadays because I just feel like every real life politician has been studying this movie the wrong way.
Isn't that so upsetting? I mean, it seemed like the most absurdist thing when it came out, and
Life imitates art.
Yeah, we're there now.
I'm not
We're
saying
there.
it's a bad movie, guys. In no way am I that demented, but I am just like, ugh.
We are now in the war room. We're there.
We are in the suck.
Yeah.
I got Dr. Honeydew and Beaker from the Muppets.
Oh, so cute. I love it. Totally counts. Totally counts.
And I just always again, just like when you were mentioning Futurama, I was bringing up Mystery Science Theater. I just always just love there's all these comedic beats. Like they are taking, Honeydew is going to be the straight face, basically infomercial guy, and Beaker is going to either, get an explosion in his face or just, again, like the reason no one listens to him is no one knows what he's saying except Honeydew. And Honeydew's not good at listening to his assistant, and he's just always burdening a burden.
Well, we have two Vincent Prices, obviously Abominable, Dr. Phibes.
I was
but
wondering
also,
about Dr. Phibes.
I mean, he's got to be on the list, right?
Such
but
a
also
campy movie.
I really enjoy that movie. It's charming. It's fun. It's having a good time.
Fun. You're gonna see it.
And then Invisible Man, he Claude Rains, is probably the best Invisible Man, but I also really enjoy Vincent Price's Invisible Man. And then obviously the 2020 version was like a really, like fresh, sharp, dark take on it that also really, really worked. So basically all the Invisible Men, I would say.
I mean, absolutely, because the Invisible Man basically just decides, like he's a knowing predator. He's basically just going around, and he just, again, he's kind of taking Victor Frankenstein, giving him a run for his money by just basically being a stalker.
Totally. And like Dr. Brundle, when they're experimenting on themselves, when they're willing to put their own bodies through these like highly experimental, dangerous procedures, that's just baked in madness right there. Like that is not a sane thing to do. So.
Yeah. Anybody, if you're disfiguring your body, it's already not worth it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh boy. I have King Cow, and I don't expect anyone to know about this one. I didn't see it on any list. I love Hong Kong cinema, and in the Jet Li movie Black Mask, he is basically creating these super soldier mutated guys.
Stop creating super soldiers, guys. It never turns out well.
It does not go well. I got the Cordilla weapons expert and terrorist Marcus Alvers from 24. And don't worry, he gets a taste of his own medicine.
Oh, good.
And it's so funny how they're having to work out a deal. It's like, no. You made a virus to be sold to terrorists. You're not getting out of this one, buddy. Got Dr. Robotnik from the Sonic the Hedgehog movies.
I've never seen those, but Dr. Robotnik is such a strong name, really strong name for a
I've only seen parts of the cartoons and probably played part of a game, but yeah, the minute they cast Jim Carrey in it, I was all in, because and it's so funny. You go the first part of the movie like, I brought some family along. They had no idea he was in it. It was like, is that Jim Carrey? Boy, transformed his body. And he pretty much does his usual signature dances and works it into the character while doing all his weird mad scientist stuff. So that's why it's just fun to watch. He's not just a guy with giant robots. There's some other funny stuff going on. And I got Abed from Community.
Oh, of course.
I didn't see him.
He
on
absolutely
there,
belongs on
but
this list.
I'm like, he experimented and came up with some weird gadgets. There's no telling what's going on in that apartment of his.
It's so true.
I got the architect from the Matrix movies because pretty much he created this cluster of virtual reality thing. I got Tony Goldwyn on here. He plays Michael Drucker in the Schwarzenegger film The Sixth Day, which surprisingly does not feel like a Schwarzenegger movie. He's in it, but it doesn't feel like it. I got Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys. He is, again, always blowing stuff up with drugs.
Counts.
And he has an evil puppet that he tries to destroy because he actually thinks it's talking to him. I couldn't make this up. I got a Christopher Lee is on here. He is Dr. Cushing Cathather from Gremlins 2.
Oh, that's so clever. I love it.
A tribute to his boy, his friend. Another Joe Dante character. I got Irwin Wayfair and Larry Benson from Small Soldiers.
Totally, absolutely.
We create toys that kill people.
Yeah. Why?
Toys that kill people.
To what end, people?
I thought I had. He was more of a war criminal, but I think, have on another list. I had the mad scientist from Puppet Master free, because why not?
Yeah.
And again, they're always paying tribute to H.G. Wells type stuff, but it's just in B-movie form. I got Dr. Alex Sadler from Continuum. He is played in adult form by Cancer Man actor William B. Davis.
Oh.
But here's the twist. He's in a futuristic prison, and he tells this future cop who time travels, you need to go back in time and stop me from, making it all go to shit. Can you do it?
Okay. So he learned his lesson.
A mad scientist who's just run in a cell and wants to stop the inevitable. I got Dr. Weir from Event Horizon.
Yes.
Again, this was a movie that everyone either likes or hate, but I just think the Sam Dale portrayal is good. And I just was like,
I like it. I like it very much. It is another, like B movie with a budget. That is absolutely my wheelhouse right there.
And unlike some of these lesser movies and shows, I like how every character has an actual assignment, so you can tell them apart. Is like, that's the psychologist, that's the chief of security, that's the captain, that's the main,
that's the mad scientist,
and that's the mad scientist, and he's trouble. Keep an eye on him. I got Dr. Jed Hill from Malice. There's a movie that people don't remember from the 90s that Aaron Sorkin wrote, of all people. I got back to the Hans. I got Dr. Hans Reinhardt from that 70s Disney film, The Black Hole. And
never seen it, but I love weird 70s Disney quite a bit.
Very weird, but very good. And I didn't expect to like it. I was like, it'll be okay. It'll be nostalgia. It's like, that's visually stunning.
Cool. All right.
It's more because I hate it when it's just pew pew spaceships and all that. It's like, no, there's something more to it. Like this is very carefully blending a grim fairy tale with a family movie. And again, you're only as good as your villain. It's a very good villain. Like he was in
all right.
A Lost Charter of Space, and yeah. And then I have Dr. Zeus and Dr. Haslin from the original Planet of the Apes movies. One is a
yes,
human,
absolutely. Of course they belong on here.
And I almost missed them. I legit almost missed them. And it was like, no. See, I got to go with the gorilla who, again, well, no, he's not a gorilla, but he's just a smart ape. But it's so wild how he's very much a glutton. He's very much excessive, and he doesn't need violence. He just has all his men do the work for him, but he's always pretty much being the voice of reason, so he thinks he's better than he actually is. And Haslin is wild. You go the whole movie, and then near the third act, you're like, yeah, he has other plans. He's going to try and kill our heroes.
Late
And-
edition. I just realized Doc Brown from Back to the Future, pretty mad. Stealing plutonium, not sane. Not a sane
the
move.
inspiration for Rick and Morty. But yeah, I was hesitant. I put him on a scientist hero list, but yeah,
I mean,
if
'cause
Marty
we
wasn't
have
there,
evil doctors and we have mad scientists, and I think there's a ton of overlap, but I think you can be
Yeah.
mad without being evil, and I think
No,
he's
I
on
agree.
that list.
well, and plus we get to see different sides of him had Marty not met him in different timelines. So there's definitely.
Oh, totally.
I think the comic books, yes, there are comic books to everything. I think they actually explore an alternate reality of what would have happened.
Oh, interesting.
If you think about it, if he didn't have terrorists coming after him at the beginning, what's what happened?
Well, he really shouldn't have stolen from them.
He should have stolen the stuff with the DeLorean. So no, that's a good point because like if Marty's not there, kind of keeping him sane, he could have easily accidentally destroyed the world. Then it would have been my
Yeah, he could have turned into a real weirdo hermit guy. You know?
Been like, what have I done? So I almost missed this. I did have Nedry played by Seinfeld's Newman from Jurassic Park.
Of course, yeah.
That was one of the first deaths growing up that I laughed at, just because it is kind of you're looking forward to it. He's a hacker
Yeah,
guy,
screw this guy.
and you're just like you hate him when you first see him because he's stuffing his face and has no manners, and then it's like, yeah, of course he's the one who locked everyone out of their computer passwords and's making the park malfunction, which should
And
be
then runs from like the problem that he created, you know.
Totally. I can't. So hot take. I can't do any of the sequels just because they don't have that action sci-fi mystery vibe that really works in the first one. But the first one is awesome because it's just more suspenseful and it doesn't overcomplicate it. If you did this now, everybody would want to make it be, oh, let's have the tourists get slaughtered. I'm like, let's not. That takes out the fun of this because now I got to watch innocent people getting killed before we can have fun.
It's actually, I think the first Jurassic Park is a perfect movie, and it's just diminishing returns over and over after that, but nothing can take away from that first movie.
It kind of goes into lesser Alien Halloweenville where everyone remembers a death from the bad movie and they're like, which one was that? I don't know. Final Destination, are you taking notes?
Exactly.
Why didn't that have a mad scientist? The Mortician wasn't exactly.
I actually thought that when you mentioned franchises, that I was like racking my brain, but
maybe. But I
don't think so.
I consider him more of like the Crypt Keeper or some of the other guys where he's just kind of just the neutral voice in the room, just saying, yeah, bad things are going to happen to you guys.
Totally.
Now, if he had tried to stop it and made it worse, then maybe. But yeah, this was interesting too, because again, a mad scientist is supposed, if you have a good plot arc, can start off as an optimist and then become just the guy who punishes everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I like the versions of this where it's like they start out wanting to do good or just wanting to know something, just like thirst for knowledge, and then it gets the better of them, and they completely lose all perspective, and then it's that thing where it's like, well, I've gone this far, I've done this much, and if I don't get the results I'm looking for, it was all for nothing. So they keep going further and further and further, and then all of a sudden it's the apocalypse. That's the version of the story that I think is the most effective.
Especially when they get the second chance, and are they going to goof it up even more?
Yeah. Often the answer is yes.
Is the hero going to have to cross some lines just to get it done? He's not even anti-hero. He's like villain protagonist who's doing less bad things than other people. You never know. And you can always tell when someone is not paying attention. You're like, no. They got someone killed. Call them good. And, I did forget to almost bring up Jack Dante. And yes, that is a Joe Dante homage from Death Machine.
Death Machine.
So Stephen Norrington, before he hit it off doing the movie Blade and a few other doing effects for the Alien movies, he got his feet wet doing a very largely edited. They unfortunately released the uncut version, so don't watch it on TV. It's terrible. But watch the uncut version, and almost everybody is named after famous genre directors. There's like the main characters like Dr. Raimi, and Brad Dourif is a mad scientist and with a killer robot. And yeah, it's a very weird hybrid of Blade Runner meets Alien. It's just all crazy. And
Sounds great. And I love me some Dourif. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he's amazing in it. And again, another mad scientist just trying to get back at his evil employers, and it's evil against evil, so it just makes it wild to watch. And young Rachel Weisz has a cameo in it.
Cool.
And going back to your Dead Ringers reference.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, that was a good cut. I can't believe I missed that one because, again, I did think about some of the other, the Cronenberg characters. I guess Crimes of the Future, would that count? I guess maybe.
Sort of. I think it's a little bit more muted, but
That's what I kind of thought. I just thought scientists, but definitely not a hero or villain, and definitely by intent. Like that's just the Cronenberg way. He likes the complexities of the morbid part of mankind.
The gray areas.
And that was the right kind of movie where it just ends and it makes you wanting more. You're like, ooh.
He's good at that.
What's going to happen
He almost
next?
never gives you too much.
Wayne
Almost never.
Friedkin's
It's been like, all right already.
Wayne Friedkin's done some of that, and it's like, that's the sign of a good movie. And I thought about some other movies, and I just couldn't place my hand on it. I thought there is kind of a mad scientist that Bruce Campbell cameos as in Escape from LA, but I didn't feel like there was enough screen time to merit it. But I think there's a few other Sam Raimi, Joe Dante, other dark comedy characters. There's bound to be at least. Well, actually, no. I checked on Mel Brooks, and there wasn't any other mad scientists. But yeah, I'm sure there's some other comedy that goes back to
Other than
Futurama
Young
point.
Frankenstein, you mean?
Yeah, other than Rocky Horror and Young Frankenstein, yeah, there's got to be something that where I'm just like, yeah, that character is basically a mad doctor.
I feel like our list is very thorough and really unexpected, very unconventional, which is cool. Would love for your readers to tell us everyone we forgot, because I know that,
Please. And
we educate us, tell us.
Maybe we just forgot. We watched too many movies. Maybe it was too morbid, guys. But you tell us.
You tell us. Tell us who was on our list that you think doesn't belong also.
Yeah. You might have been like, that movie sucked, Cam. Why would you take it from the worst possible sequel? And I would just be like, I don't know. Maybe because I watch it all the time. And
there's no accounting for taste.
You just can't tell what's good or bad after a while sometimes. But yeah, Skynet's on here. Herbert West is on here. Futurama's on here. Star Trek's on here. Cigarette Man's on here. I did make an honorable mention Phantasm. What else is not on here?
I'm really excited that I had cause to bring up Smallville not once but twice. That's always a good day for me. That's a good podcast for me if I get to bring up Smallville.
Entered the damn conversation
yes.
unofficially in some way. Other comedy characters from sitcoms entered here. Come on, Event Horizon, Romero.
We nailed it. We nailed it.
Metropolis, and you brought up Dr. Caligari. It's like, yeah, I mean, there's so many different versions of that character or references to that character. It's like, yeah. If there's another book or a comic book character that we didn't mention, I'm sure. Sound off, guys. Sound off.
Please do. We want to know.
And with that, we are out. Any other promotion you would like to sneak in there? Like Fangoria?
I don't think so. I got it at the top of the hour.
Oh, no, that's good. I know Fangoria still has the app. I know that place is always so good at just promoting on social media. There's always
we have a strong marketing and social team. Thank goodness, because we wouldn't survive otherwise. And I can't do it. I'm not good at that. So.
I hear you, but it's so cool that you guys host so many conventions and have so many of these anniversary screenings. Because, I mean, we're only getting up there in age, there's always there's still a bunch of stories left to tell. I don't know if you've been fortunate. I think you guys might have run into Blu-ray special content creator Justin Beam. He loves storytelling, but he also just loves having these patient recollections, never rushing these interviews. And a good interview is always so hard. Just when you think you have it nailed, it's like, yeah, I'm coming in too strong, or this person's just not ready to talk. Let's just hit them up because people change. Now I'm ready to talk.
And I mean, all of mine is in print, which is easier to navigate because I don't have to communicate tone if they seemed awkward. I
Yeah.
can't at video interviews, like that's very brave. And so I always really admire those of you who do it because everything I do, I then get to do a polish on before anyone sees it and makes it a little easier, you know.
I've done mental health advocates, I've done political activists, and that's even more hard because it's like, I really love
So,
you.
like
What you're
serious
saying.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, but I got 30 minutes and I can't be nerding out for 20. You know?
Right.
It's like,
I admire that for sure. I mean, I'm also I say only, but only interviewing entertainment people, so the stakes are lower. You know what I mean? Like,
the stakes are lower, but I mean, it does stink that sometimes, yeah, email is easier, but also at the same time, like, sometimes you might have there can be miscommunication. It can go to an outdated email. You never know. And
well, we usually, interview like on Zoom, but then
oh,
I'm
there you
only
go.
printing it. No one's seeing it anywhere.
Oh,
Just,
that works. So at least you have that fun reference. And but yeah, no, I admire it because sometimes an answer has to be redacted, or they talked about a project they're not clear to talk about just yet. And
Oh, we get a lot of that. It's always like, oh, wait, I'm sorry. I'm like, all right, fine.
it's even more fun when you talk to these guys and they're like, people know who I am. I'm like, yeah, I was at the video store. So you did these HBO movies, you did these other bizarre festival circuit stuff. And sometimes they're honored and sometimes they're horrified because they don't know how to,
They're weirded out.
they don't know the polite way to just say, I value my privacy. Is like, okay, cool.
I respect your boundaries.
But your name's on a bunch of stuff I've seen. I'm sorry. I just got to reach out to you. And reaching out to some of these funny B movie craftsmen, even people who've done the most lowbrow stuff, that they are sometimes even amused that they still have fan mail. I've talked to people who are just like, were like assistant, like makeup artists, or did a video store rental. Even these people did cinematics, and you're just like, wow, you have come and gone here and there. You've done monster movies on this big level. You've done more proficient cartoons and sci-fi stuff, but I do value, like, the more unpredictable resume you have, the more we have to talk about, because then we can easily
Totally.
breeze over the part you don't want to talk about.
Exactly. You've given me plenty to draw from.
And sometimes
Well,
I think you're in the right age, though. People are now finally accepting that, hey, if I like a celebrity, maybe I should talk about something more than just their one iconic role, that they are
oh
tired
yeah,
of talking about.
absolutely.
But hey, you knocked it dead. You had a lot of fun. It showed.
Thank you so much for having me, Cam. This was so cool, and I can't wait to listen to it. I'm really, really
Yes.
grateful, and I enjoyed it so much. This was such a fun conversation, so I really appreciate it.
It was dynamite. Thank you so much.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening.
It's a jacked up